First jug up for the chopping block. This one's got marked 4 on it. There's another one right there. You can barely see it. Gonna clean this bad boy up. Give it a quick hone. I just got a quick little honey thingy from Harbor Freight. Oil it, hone it, don't go crazy. It'll make it just a little better than it is. Get rid of any glazing, blah, blah, blah. Now that this one is clean, or whatever, cleaned off, make sure to clean it, get all the debris and stuff that possibly is actually inside, get it nice and clean. What I like to do, now we're gonna hone it. This is just a quick little honer from Harbor Freight. I do like ball hones. They don't seem as aggressive, but that's what they had in town, so couldn't find ball hones. So what I like to do, that is nasty, whatever the heck that is. Whatever, no matter. That's nasty oil. It must be used oil. Oh well. Get a rag, get it saturated in oil, and then coat the inside. So it's kind of like a lube. I did put the cylinder on the block, so bam. You don't want this touching any nastiness, so I'm just gonna put that there. And then you grab your honer. Honer? I don't know if that's a word. Honer. Alright. Get this bad boy. Don't go all the way through. You're just gonna be honing where the piston goes. Put it up, put it on the inside, there we go. And just go slow back and forth, okay? So that'll be, you know, what you do. You just kind of go back and forth. Make sure your drill can do it. Then stop, take it out. I'm just gonna go really slow with this and do it over and over until you're satisfied. Okay, the one I just did is on the left, number 3 is on the right. As you can see, besides being a whole lot cleaner, you can see now the inside has a nice new hone to it. I could probably keep going and go all the way to that, but I don't see a reason to. The piston's not going to be going that high. So, that compared to that. So it should seat those rings in good, and you know, it won't have any of the glazing or anything like that. So now let's get all 4 done. 4 jugs are complete and nice and shiny. They're cleaner. I want to show you how I did it. So at first, I did a very coarse wire wheel to get most of the junk off the jugs. And then from there, I scraped it with just like a, I mean, you could just get a barbecue grill, but this is a like welding brush. And that gets really deep into the jugs. Then blew all the stuff out of the jugs. And then finished it up with a, this was like a rust removal wheel. It used to be a cone. It's not a cone no more. But it kind of gets the rest of the stuff off from there. Clean them. And that's how I did that. Also, got a package today, which we're still waiting on one. But we got the exhaust O-rings. And... Come on. Come on. Valve guides. So, bam. Start working on the head when we want. Alright. Now that the jugs are cleaned, honed, time to get the piston rings on the pistons so we can get them installed on the motor. I got these from Foreign Aid. Grant piston rings. Kind of like a new old stock that they had, so kind of cool. Wasn't that expensive and well worth it since those are pretty nasty. A few things we got to do with the piston rings, and then also I want to finish cleaning up the pistons. Also, we're doing number 4 first because that'll be the first one to be installed. So we got number 4. First thing I'm going to do is pull off a ring. So we got a top ring. Come on, buddy. Try not to score the pistons when you're doing this. Lift them up, pull them out kind of around. And bam, so that's a top. These are from another one. I was using them to clean out a piston. So those are just extras just in case I need something to clean out the piston. So I'm gonna do top. I'll just wait on that. And I'm gonna figure out which one is top. It's not gonna be those because those are oil rings. Could be this one. Let's see. Seems about right. Always check the fitment. It's a little tight, but there could be some gunk in there. This one. I mean, they all look the same, so this one definitely is a little smaller and it's got a little ridge on it. But it does fit better. So I bet those are top. I should have done this in the beginning, but this is what I like to do. Make a nice clean work surface, lay out what you have, and then any instructions that goes with it as well. We do have this one as well. That will be in a second. So that one, second groove, outside step cut must go down, top groove, caution, inside bevel must go up, oil, caution, do not overlap. So a little bit of instructions there. If you just read the papers, it'll kind of show you how they go. So we'll just go off of that. Of course, I'm just going to make sure they fit, but bam, read the instructions. So I did a lot of Googling and a lot of measuring and looking at instructions. So it says ring end clearance should be approximately 0.003 to 0.004 per inch of cylinder diameter. It's a 90 millimeter jug. You times that, it's somewhere around 0.014. It's a little bit more than that. When I looked online, this is what they said. Top ring, second ring, oil. That's millimeters and inches. So what I did, I got the lowest one and the highest one. You take the lowest one, fits between, nice and smooth. Little bit of play. Then you take the highest one and it doesn't fit. So that means that ring is correct. Certain applications where you're running boost, where you're running nitrous, custom pistons and rings, you'll actually have to grind the piston rings and gap them yourself. These, so far, are set up correctly. If you've never checked or know how to check ring gap, I'm going to show you right now. So we'll just do it to the second one. Grab a ring. These are kind of rusty because they've been sitting on a shelf for years. So I'm really quick just hitting them with Scotch-Brite. I'll do that to the whole thing, but I mainly just want to do the outside right now. Put them inside your jug, preferably the lowest point. So, put them inside the jug. Grab the piston that goes to the jug, clean it off real nice. Put the piston inside and put it down until you think it is flat. Pull the piston out. We are looking for between 0.012 and 0.022. I got those out. So there's our gap. I'm going to put the 0.012 in. It fits, no problem. Slips in there. It's got a little bit of play. And there's no way that the 0.022 is going to fit. Yep. So I can tell that it's a little bit smaller of a gap. It actually looks like it's not that flat, actually. Let's try it again. 0.012 goes in there, no problem. And then the 0.22 does not. And that is how you check ring gap. If it's not correct and you need to open it more, you can sand it by hand, or they sell a little diamond roller that you pinch it and then grind a little bit off, and you just go very slow. And then you just check all of them. So what I'm going to do is check every single one to every single jug. Make sure none of these are bored out or anything a little bit. So I will be checking every single one, and as I do it, that will go to this piston, this jug. Next one, that piston, that jug, and then they will go to their own jug and piston, I guess, their own cylinder. And you just continue doing that, continue cleaning, continue checking, and then you will have everything ready to put back on the block. And I'm going to spare you all that because I just want to focus on this, get it done. It does take some time to do this, and especially cleaning the pistons. So I'm using some of the old rings, and you can see I did that first groove, and I got to do all 3 grooves, and that one took a minute. There was a lot of carbon build up in there. So you guys don't have to sit through it because I'm just going to get it done, and then we will start putting them on the motor. Finally got one piston cleaned, and you start with the bottom. I don't think this has a direction. It just says as long as the colors are on the outside, going by the instructions. So, bam, put that guy in there. Make sure it's loose. It should be loose because the oil rings still have to go in. Okay, from there, put in an oil ring. They don't have, sometimes they'll have dots, sometimes they'll have an edge. This one doesn't have anything. So what you do is start it on one end, if you're talented enough, and start with the bottom one, roll it around. So put it in, kind of hold it with your finger, and then roll it around. Try not to scratch the piston as much as you can't, or as much as you can try, and then pull it so that it goes to the bottom, or lift it up and move it over. Okay, Bam, the bottom one is in. Nice and loosey-goosey. These will get positioned, but they are not yet. Another thing it said was to make sure this does not overlap. Both colors need to be visible. So this must have jumped over. Okay. Bam. Okay, you get one of these. Same thing. So that one's over there. So I'm gonna do this one over here. You're supposed to place them away. Oh, coming back off. I put it in the wrong one. Okay. Bam. Run it around. And bam. Okay. That is extremely tight. I mean, it won't even go in. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Okay. Bam. Now it's loose. Okay, so it just needed to kind of, I think this inner ring was on the outside, so everything was jammed. Bam. Now that's good. They say to place the colors at the wrist pin area. So bam, dead center. The lower one needs to be, okay, the lower one actually needs to be to the right 1 or 2 inches. And then 1 to 2 inches. The top one needs to be the same. So, second one from the bottom. All it says is outside step cut must go down. So there is a little step right there that needs to go down. For the top one, it says inside bevel must go up. There's the inside bevel, and that must go up. Okay, pistons are clean and put back together. Rings, everything nice and clean with their appropriate jug. Now what I'm gonna do is do a quick spray and kind of look over this motor, cleaning a few little things, and then we'll get to installing them. All right, time to put the first piston and jug on the motor. We're gonna do 4 first, and make sure that, of course, top is top, and that the pin is oriented towards the back of the motor, because it'll make it easier to hit it in. If you can't do the other way because of the oil cooler little extension right there. When you're putting all this together, remember, lube is your friend. If it's a brand new motor, they have actual like break-in oil and what's that stuff called? I can't remember right now. Yeah, engine assembly lube. But this is a used motor as far as the rings go, but oil never hurts, so make sure everything has a nice coat of oil. It'll also help, you know, get any more debris out, but a little bit of oil is never gonna hurt. Okay, we got some oil there. Make sure you put your I don't know, gasket. There's a little gasket that goes here, and then on the other side on the head side, but of course we'll do that later. And then make sure that where the pin rides is oiled as well. So I got a little container up here, and I'm gonna put some inside of here. It'll help things slide in, and when first start hits, there will be something there, I don't know, to give it a little bit of lube. I was going to use this, and as I was thinking about it, normally you knock the piston all the way through on a normal block. Once again, haven't built one of these before. I actually haven't built a Volkswagen. I've taken them apart, but I haven't built one. But that wouldn't be possible because the pin's still in it, unless I take out the pin, but I don't want to take out the pin. So I'm just going to go really slow and put the rings in. Okay, once all of them are seated, let's just crook it. Then, once again, make sure everything is lubed. Put some there, put some there. Slide the jug in. Oh, make sure the rod is up. Okay. And then take your time aligning it until you get the pin through the rod. All right, once it's in, put your clips in. Technically, you could have put this clip in first, which I probably should have with everything going on here. If you put the one you're hitting to in first, then you can hit to it and then do the other clip. So hopefully I can get this one in, but we will see. And then you should be able to tap the jug all the way in. Should probably get like a rubber mallet for this, or a block. Should probably get a block instead of hitting it metal on metal. I would think you should probably get a 2x4, but yeah, this will work. From here, I'm gonna do 3, 2, then 1. I think so, or the other way around. Rotate the motor so that the rod you're working on is all the way extended, and then you can put the pin through it. So you're gonna be rotating the motor a few times, but that's how you do it. The motor is back together. I mean, jugs and pistons at least. I have the heads sat on the motor so that the jugs don't pull out when I turn it. But I was kind of feeling it, make sure everything feels good, doesn't feel like anything's binding. Still gotta rebuild the heads. But just going off of here, I don't know where else you could do the flywheel, but I don't have the flywheel on, so it's fine. Feels pretty good. It's good. I'm just putting some oil in the cylinders just to make sure everything is lubed, but it's looking good. It's amazing to see what this motor has became compared to what it was. This motor was so nasty, couldn't turn. I mean, there was nests in it, everything like that. Now it's a clean, regapped, rehoned, nicely spinning 1.7 liter for our bus. Now it's time to finish rebuilding the heads. That will be on the next video. Then continue putting back together the 1.7 liter. That's cleaning all the tins, that's painting stuff so it's not orange, and finish putting it back together so that this can get ready to be put back in the bus. But what I'm gonna do before we put it back in the bus, because I'm not sure about that automatic transmission, I'm gonna drop the automatic transmission, get everything so that it mates up to this motor. We're missing all the bolts to mount it up, the starter, make sure that the torque converter and that adapter plate and all that such works before I try to put this motor in the van and nothing happens before I put it in the bus. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you for watching. I hope you are enjoying this content. I hope you maybe learned something. I know I did, as far as the Type 4 motors go. A little bit different, but it's a Volkswagen. It's a dark old Volkswagen. It's all the same. Like always, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more Volkswagen content. This is High Five Garage, and we out.